concerned about.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call this November 18th, 2025 Town Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Greg Brewer.
Here.
Brian Burney.
Here.
Chad Gooding.
Here.
Scott Jones.
Here.
John Price.
Here. You'll stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first order of business is approval of our October 21st, 2025 minutes. Is there any adjustments, corrections, edits? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the October 21st minutes.
Second. You mean the October 25th minutes? Did you say February 21st?
I said October 21st.
Oh, 21st? Okay. February. I'm already thinking about next year. There's been a first and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Next order of business is public comments for any non-agenda items. If there's anybody here that would like to speak on anything that's come on up. Just give us your name, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brett Kelly. I live at 9428 North 400 West, McCordsville. I'm the trustee of the John B. Kelly Irrevocable Trust.
Okay.
I am also the trustee of Brett M. Kelly and Tracy L. Kelly Living Trust.
Okay.
And I wrote Ryan a letter, and I'm just wanting to make sure that this gets introduced into the minutes,
Okay.
and I'd like to read it to you guys.
Sure.
Sure. Or do you have a copy of it?
Yeah, we sent it out last week, so it's
I've read it.
I mean, say you guys all may have this, but I'm just
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to cover my bases because I'm gonna end with something that
Yeah.
kind of pertains to it.
Okay.
Okay. To whom it may concern, we are writing this letter to confirm that the property is owned by John B. Kelly and Brett and Tracy Kelly, that they are not annexed into the town of McCordsville at this time. At the September 16th, 2025 meeting, McCordsville Planning Commission meeting, a member on the town council mentioned that in reference to the Lennar Homes request for favorable recommendation on the rezone of the properties referred as Kelly Landing, that the land owned by John B. Kelly Irrevocable Trust with trustee Brett M. Kelly and the land owned by Brett M. Kelly and Tracy L. Kelly, both trustees of the Kelly Living Trust, was not signed properly for annexation into the town of McCordsville. We have not re-signed the above mentioned annex paperwork. The situation has not even been presented to us for re-signing. We were asked by Lennar Homes to extend our original contract to another full year due to the difficulties with obtaining water to the new developments that have been proposed. We declined to extend our contract with Lennar Homes. We also do not approve the annexation of the said properties in the John B. Kelly Irrevocable Trust and the Kelly Living Trust at this time. Lennar Homes has sent notification that they have ended the contract to purchase the above mentioned properties due to not being able to quickly rectify the ongoing water issues. Lennar also stated that the above mentioned properties were not annexed into the town of McCordsville, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. If you have any questions, my contact information is Brett Kelly 9262@gmail.com, or my cell number is 317-460-3565.
Yeah.
Please reply with confirmation.
So yeah, since they are they don't own the property, they can't be annexed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and the reason that I am doing this is because 3 or 4 years ago, when Premier Properties was trying to buy the 37 acres of my uncle's, we had in the contract that if the deal did not go through, that the property would not be annexed.
Yep.
Well,
They annexed it.
they annexed it. And so that's why I'm just trying
Yeah.
to make sure that at this time,
Yeah, if you resell those properties, then it goes through Ryan, if he sells those properties in the future, then it goes through that process again, right? If they
Yeah.
want to.
yes.
Could, yes.
So he's not annexed.
He is not in town, and we will make sure that as Kelly, if it moves forward, new legal descriptions are prepared that do not include these parcels.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say there's the 51 and the 8.
Yeah.
The 37 and the 3 of John B. Kelly Irrevocable Trust is annexed at this time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a great evening.
You too. Any other non-public agenda, or any public comments on any non-agenda items? Okay, with that, we'll start with the committee and staff reports. Parks Board.
Parks Board's hot off the press, met last night. The final Cars and Coffee was held, the leader car was there, provoked some interest. Market in McCordsville ended the year in the green, and the stalls were capped out at 67 vendors, and most of the time I think all of those were filled. With Trunk or Treat, was well attended, probably maxed out the parking. Some discussions being held on that, and Outlook is, I think, requesting that they be added as an also insured on our insurance, at least some sort of insurance liability coverage from us to them, I think, was requested. And 670 hot dogs were consumed in an hour.
Weather was really good for that event. Yeah.
The tree lighting ceremony is December 5th, and the tree is up in McCord Square if you want to see it. I thought we were buying a huge tree, and it looks diminutive in there, really. I think in addition to the elementary school choir and the middle school band, that the high school cheerleaders are also being added to the entertainment that night, along with the usual Santa Claus pictures, although I'm not sure who Santa Claus is this year.
Santa Claus, he's coming in.
Coming in. On Old School Park, it's kind of being shut down for the winter. The Tubi thing that's bent, that part's, I guess, on back order. Final inspection, there was some separation of the rubberized surface at one point, but not too much. I guess easily repaired. Community centers are probably about 95% done on the inside, and discussion is to move voting over there if it can be done next year, and free up town hall for those days when voting would occur. And it would be a great opportunity for the public to see the community center. On the 600 properties, I think there is a deal with the homestead for $375,000, I believe. Which is the northern of the two properties, but there was a not agreement between the Round Barn owner and the RDC on the price for the southern property. So that one is not moving forward at this time. We'll see what happens. We're looking for responses to the Parks Master Plan, 5-year master plan. There are 311 responses as of yesterday, which is more than was expected. And we took ownership of the parks ground in McCord Square. I think that's it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Bernier. I was not at RDC, so Tim.
Yeah, so we had our annual meeting with the overlapping taxing units, House Enrolled Act 1262, I believe it is. So we did our annual report. We approved our annual spending plan, and that has been submitted to the state for 2026. And then we addressed the two park properties along 600.
Okay. Vernon Township Fire Committee did not meet. We're meeting on Monday. Metropolitan Police Board
We did not meet.
did not meet. Okay. Public Works.
We did not meet.
We had a month less. Architectural Review.
Did not meet.
Okay. Plan Commission.
We did meet. There was 5 of us in attendance. There were 3 items for business. The first one was looking on our homes, making a request for the Kelly Landing PUD, and that's been continued till November, but it appears in light of recent developments, it's probably going to move on till December. And Patch McCordsville requested approval for their secondary plot for the Commerce Park, and that was approved, 5-0. And for new business, the Forester request for a primary plot for 165 houses was approved, 5-0. And that's a subdivision next to, kind of diagonal from Woodhaven.
Okay. Court Square. Sorry.
One other thing, sorry. Joshua Smith was, recommended to be appointed to the ARC from the Planning Commission.
Oh, great. McCord Square Review Committee did not meet, so, next item of business is our consent agenda. At this time, if there's anything on the consent agenda that any council member would like to remove for further discussion, please say so now. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we,
I was just gonna say, we did pull 2 items off right before the meeting and put them under new business. Just we have some comments on them.
Okay.
make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
There's been a first and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Okay, first, we have no old business. First item of new business is our UDO contract with HWC agreement. This was under consent, now under new business, correct?
Yeah, so just a few comments if I could on it. So
All right.
the total contract as listed is around $219,000. I will tell you about 69,000 of that roughly is in optional services. At this time, staff is not requesting that we move forward with the optional services. We're requesting to move forward with phase 1 and phase 4 of the contract. But noting that we may come back after we have convened a steering committee and request additional funds for those other phases.
So this would be a not to exceed?
This would be a not to exceed of $150,000
Okay.
at this time. No, it was like 149 something, so.
Is there any concerns with some of the optionals, or do you think you're gonna have to use some of these optional services?
I think staff would certainly like to use some of the optional services, but I would like to fine tune maybe some of those a little bit more and get input from our to-be-named steering committee before doing that.
Okay.
As long as we're discussing it, Beth, could you briefly compare and contrast the one clause in there with dispute resolution has mandatory mediation. I'm familiar with mandatory arbitration and court, but I haven't seen one with mandatory mediation. What's your take on that?
Well, typically, so mediation is almost never binding, but by saying that it's mandatory, it's saying that we're obligated to go and try it to see if we can resolve it. And if it does not resolve, then we'll be free to proceed with litigation.
So-
Arbitration is binding.
So with arbitration, you're stuck with the outcome.
With arbitration, you are stuck with binding. You're
With-
agreeing to not go to a court.
With mediation, unless there's an agreement, it has no effect whatsoever.
Correct. That's mediation
Yeah, let's do
always,
that.
even in the middle of a lawsuit. If we don't resolve it, it has no
Yeah,
impact.
yeah, this one calls for mediation.
Yeah, and typically that would just be done in an effort to likely save expenses on both sides if we can resolve it without actually having to litigate it.
So do you want an approval for 219,500, not to exceed that, in case you need the optional things, or will you need to remove that?
We can certainly do that if you're comfortable with it.
Well, you've got a committee, right? And
Yep.
we're, and these are services we're gonna need for the UOD, so, or UDO, so, I mean, there's $60,000, well, I'm sorry, about $70,000 of optional expenses that the committee can approve to use or not, right?
Yep.
And where's this coming out of again, what budget?
Mostly general. We have a chunk of the money in this year's budget, So we'll encumber it,
Uh-huh.
and then we added what we thought was going to be the remainder of the money in next year's budget. This actually exceeds both of those by a little bit, so depending on how that plays out, we either meet the budget we have approved, or we'll come with an additional appropriation for that. I think it's like 20,000, whatever it is, 20,000 off. So we were close.
Ryan has done a good job paring it down from what it started at.
Yeah, yes. We did do some work on the scope. I think what I would ask is if you are willing to approve the total amount, with holding signature until we finalize a few things. I would like to take a shot at tweaking a couple of minor items if we're going to go for all 4 of those phases.
Yeah. No more discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
How do you need the motion phrase, since we have to hold signature until they finalize?
Motion not to exceed whatever the number is,
219,500.
and approving signature pending final
Yep.
tweaks, final negotiation. Which word do you prefer?
I would rather negotiation
Negotiation. They're minor. but-
by staff, negotiations by staff.
I'll make a motion that we approve the UDO contract not to exceed $219,500 pending final negotiations by staff.
Second?
It's been a first and second to approve the HWC UDO contract. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. All right, the next order of business is our Kimberly Horn contract. I know we talked about it at the staff meeting, but you guys want to give an overview first to them?
Yeah, so this contract is for the engineering design for the Central Green Park project, the first phase of the Central Green Park project that is in conjunction with the Ready $2 we're trying to secure from the state. We need to have this contract in place and sent to the state for proof that we're moving forward by December 1st. That said, similar to the last one, as we were reviewing, we kind of pulled this together last week, and as we were reviewing some of the language, we had a call with Bill Butts, who's, I don't know what his title is there. I don't know, senior engineer, we'll make something up. At Kimley Horn to discuss some of the clarifying language. We had some scope concerns to make sure we were getting exactly what we thought we were getting, and it sounds like we are. It's just we'd rather see it clearer in the contract. So we want to not exceed the contract amount pending final language as negotiated by staff, and then authorize town manager to sign that one when it's ready. Because I'm going to have to flip that to the state as soon as possible so we don't lose the ready dollars, which is the key here.
Well, I think one thing you explained to me, the reason you guys wanted to go with Kimberly Horn was they already understand a lot of the water and sewer, the infrastructure, whereas context is more of the design.
Yeah, some of the questions we had when we met with Bill, I mean, he was able to rattle off exactly where pipes were and sewer pipes because they did all the engineering for McCord Square. So we felt it made a lot of sense to use the firm that has already done the engineering in McCord Square to do the park engineering as well. We just want to make sure that some of the language is, there's no question if Bill left Kimley Horn or something, we can read that and say, yeah, no, that was the intent. Because he tells us the intent, we want to make sure it's in the contract. So, but yeah, we wanted to go with a firm that already had the CAD files and knew where the infrastructure was. We felt that was a more efficient route to go.
So Tim, this quote's for $234,300, and then it says an additional approximately $4,500 in reimbursable expenses. So are you looking for like not to exceed $240,000?
Yeah, we can do it that way. That's fine.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Discussion real quick.
Yeah.
Any other discussion or questions before a motion's made? Nope. All right.
Make a motion that we approve the Kimley Horn contract not to exceed $240,000 pending final review from the town manager and authorizing him to sign it.
Second?
It's been a first and second to approve the Kimley Horn contract and authorization for town manager sign. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. All right. Tim approached me about a week or so ago about talking about two different ideas on council meeting dates to kind of maybe flow differently with the way our meetings kind of line up in the different committees, and trying to kind of almost feed like all that stuff into our town council meeting versus being 3 or 4 weeks behind, on plan commission, a couple others. So got a couple ideas to look at and discuss. Our current one, which would be the second Tuesday of each month, or the alternative schedule, I believe, is to move it to the third Tuesday of each month in 2026. And switching basically plan commission, right, and town council.
Yeah, we've looked at it the last few years mostly it's not really affecting the town council. It's looking at when filings are for BZA and Plan Commission and ARC. So we made some tweaks last year. We moved TAC. I think that was the biggest change we made last year.
Correct.
So we kind of just looked at it again this year, and we had 3 conflicts this year where we had to move to the third Tuesday for council. So we just floated the idea of, does it make any sense to move to the third Tuesday? So the schedule that we felt the feedback was our normal schedule, which is second Tuesday. There were 2 conflicts, January and October, fall break with Mount Vernon. So that is the 2026 town council meeting date one, and then we just put the alternate schedule, which was what it would look like if it was all third Tuesdays. If we moved it to all third Tuesdays, which I know there's some conflicts there, so we would rearrange a lot of the other meetings as well. We understand this is pretty late in the year, so this might be a 2027 discussion, but we wanted to just float it out there as a concept, because if we moved the town council meeting dates, then that is a domino effect of everything else. So we'd have to figure out a calendar that makes sense after that. So we just wanted to float it out there as a
Well,
concept.
it's more, the reason I'm kind of interested in it is because I like the fact that things are flowing into our meeting, so you have RDC the first week, if you have plan and ARC and parks first or second week, all that's flowing into our meeting, so that we're getting almost, I wouldn't say real time, but very close to real time information for that month versus, we have plan commission next week, right? So the next time we meet is 2 or 3 weeks from, 3 weeks from now. Well, there might be some issues that should be brought up sooner than that.
I had Holly immediately, because if you move to the third, we have to move Plan Commission and ARC. So we looked at that, and it actually works for filing deadline. It gives us one filing deadline for all the boards and commissions by
BZA.
doing that. So there are some advantages to it, but if it's more of a longer term discussion that we understand, we'll start it earlier next year and transition in, but there is some merit to at least having the discussion at some point.
Yeah, staff, from impact on other meetings, we can make it work either way. It does necessitate a change. ARCPC moves to the second Tuesday. BZA moves to the third Wednesday. TAC moves, but I don't recall right now which direction it goes. We did a few renditions, so we can make it work either way. We're just looking for direction.
Yeah, and I said, I've sent it out. I've got commitments for probably 4 of the meetings for next year. And then with only, even if more lead time would not have helped, because a lot of these, you get established, you put a deposit down.
Sure.
And it's not refundable.
I just think you can't be too far ahead on planning meeting dates. And like in January's meeting, we should be discussing 2027 meeting dates. That should be an agenda item a year ahead of time. There's no problem here, except that it's 2026 is upon us, and people make plans, and if there aren't schedules out, then the plans and schedules can conflict, and then you wind up bouncing things around, then you lose other people. So you got to get a year ahead of it at least. 2 years is best.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing's always about making things more efficient. So if we're more efficient, things flow better. That's the key thing to me. And I don't disagree with Dr. Bernie. I mean, if we want to do it for 2027, but I think it's a change that needs to be made because stuff needs to flow in. We're kind of in the middle of different meetings. You know, if I look at Plan Commission, if somebody is at Plan Commission and they present something, they need to come from the council. It shouldn't go the other way. I've never liked where, you know, developers come in, present to us, and then next week they're showing up at Plan. Well, we were at the council meeting. They really loved all these ideas. You know, it should work the other way. Everything should flow into us for final, approval in a sense.
On the current schedule, this year we had 3 conflicts because Veterans Day landed on Tuesday. We don't have that problem in 2026.
Right.
But just, there are other options rather than moving it back. You can move the planning commission forward to the first week. You know, we've got my only concern is we haven't really talked about this in detail. We got notified of it, on Thursday of last week? And so not a lot of time to think through it.
Sure.
And I'd prefer to delay the decision until
Well, we can
the town council can sit there and talk about it and revisit it in January.
Yeah, we need to approve the January meeting though.
Well, I mean, we can
The 26th schedule.
let's do this. Let's table this decision for next month. Guys, take a look at it, and then we'll make a final decision in December.
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
Since it's just kind of been sprung and everybody hasn't really had a chance to look at it. And you know, nice thing about 2 things is the state virtual meetings, being able to zoom in and stuff to these things. I know it's not ideal, but it does allow for guys who are sick or things come up, they can still zoom in.
Okay.
I know everybody has different lifestyles and different things going on, so sometimes it's difficult. Next item of business will be the town holiday schedule. There's 2 of them. Tell us which.
So, as Dr. Bernie mentioned, we have approached the county about possibly using the community center as the voting spot for McCordsville. Now, we might get big enough someday that we're using 2 locations. I don't think we're there yet. There are some logistical advantages to the community center, and one of them being we could actually schedule off the smaller room and have early voting, which we get a lot of requests for. We can't really do that here because we need to use this room. But over there, we could block off the smaller conference room and they could have early voting. So we like that concept. There's a little bit more dedicated parking once it's done. That's the big what if next year is the parking ready by the primary? It should be, but it's all weather pending at this moment. So holiday schedule A is essentially the exact same schedule that we had this year. So we didn't have elections this year, so we replaced that with Columbus Day and New Year's Eve. And that's what schedule A is. Schedule B is that we don't move voting over there. We have to keep it here, and then we're off the 2 election days. If we move it over to the community center, we don't have to shut down town hall because we have plenty of parking, and it's not a problem. We usually don't work election days because there's nowhere for us to be because it's usually busy. So we just gave the 2 schedules pending. You talked to the county election, and so they want to tour the building and make sure it's all compliant and whatnot. So, but they seem pretty excited about the concept.
Staff prefers which way?
We would prefer Schedule A, which is the schedule we had for this year, and working the 2 election days, frankly.
Okay. Well, I mean, can we make a motion to approve that depending on the use of the community center for election day?
Yeah, and if by chance it's not done for the primary, we could swap. We come back to you and say, well, we're going to do Columbus Day instead of primary election day or whatnot.
Schedule A has you guys off on election days.
Oh, did I have them backwards?
Yeah, I just don't want to adopt the rule.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Schedule B is the one.
Sorry, Schedule B is the one that we're recommending.
Nice
as
try,
the-
Tim.
We could merge these. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I thought we had them the
Sounds
opposite
like a
way.
hard worker and still got it off. Good job.
So yeah, this is the same schedule we had
Basically, you
this
want to
year.
approve Schedule B contingent on the use of the
Yeah.
community center for primary and election day.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we'll meet with the county election board and make sure that they're okay with the swap. And then we'll have to really promote the idea that the election is over at the other building, because I guarantee we'll be busy over here. Anyways,
Take a lot of marketing on that.
so Schedule B, my apologies.
Contention on the use of community center.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more discussion, questions for Tim? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to use Schedule B pending the election board certification of the community center.
Second?
It's been a first and second to approve 2026 Town Holiday Schedule B, contingent upon the use of the community center. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. All right. This is more for just review, and then if for you guys.
Town council one's first.
Yeah, town's council, but if we need more time, it does not have to be approved tonight, it can be tabled, but if you're good, then I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, these are the members from each board and commission, plus I added the liaisons. We didn't do that. We did that separately last year. I just added them to this as well. So these are the members that are up for reappointment to the boards and commissions. We have checked with all of them, and minus Chad and John on the planning commission. But you're here tonight, so if you don't want to do it, just let us know.
Yeah.
And everybody was fine serving again next year or having their term re-upped. So if you're okay with these, if you want time, if you want to look at these, we just wanted to get it in front of you. And redevelopment commission meets before your January meeting, so that one's the most urgent.
So you said everybody on here has agreed to serve if they're public members, so it's not a surprise to them?
Nope. And we made no changes. These are all current members.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 board and commission appointments.
Second.
There's been a first and second to approve the 2026 board and commission appointments by the town council. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. You guys can just take a look. Those will be, these will be reappointed. Basically, no changes. Everybody's
Yeah, same.
same. So, all right, they've all agreed. So moved. All right, assistant town manager report.
Project status report is updated and posted. We did pull a few projects off this list to try to get that count down. A few added probably, most likely, but it's there, and I'm happy to answer any questions on anything that's on the project list. There were some updates this month to specifically some commercial CFOs and some subdivisions.
Hey, Ryan, I don't know if it's on your list or not, but I've noticed that going over the railroad tracks over by Family Express, they're getting pretty rough. I don't know if we've had any conversations with CSX.
We have had some conversations. Ron Kreider specifically has spoken with CSX about that. They have not been warm to the idea of patching those holes. Those potholes are actually within their right of way, even though it's our street. And so then we proceeded to ask, well, then can we fill those potholes in near your right of way just to stop the calls and complaints? And they told us not to touch their right of way. So we are in a holding pattern right now. We can't go into their right of way. If they continue to not take action over those, eventually we will get that fixed with the big widening project, because all
Yeah.
that will get resurfaced. But we are, 6 months from starting that project and 18 months from finishing it, more than 18 months from
And
finishing
3 months
it.
of cold
Yep.
weather.
Well, I was also talking about just going over the tracks themselves. Like, I don't know, over the last year, it just feels a whole lot rougher.
Oh,
than
the
it
actual
used to.
track, the crossing has gotten rougher. They will not fix that until we do our project. So that is going to just
That'll all
be,
get replaced next year.
we'll get all new rubberized material in there with our project.
Cool.
Why don't we put two bright white lines on the street where the boundary between their easement and our road is, and put up a billboard that says, between the two white lines is CSX, call them.
Yeah, put their phone.
Yeah, give the phone number.
Their phone number is posted up there, if I remember correctly. There's a sign with their number on it.
It is up there.
Yep.
Yeah. I've talked to Ron several times. To give Ron Kreider a lot of credit, he's been diligent, but he's getting that, what Ryan said,
Stonewalled.
responses.
Sure.
We're not gonna, it's not a priority for, but I've also noticed the one down Carroll Road is getting really beat up again
Yep.
too. So that's a Lawrence issue, but they seem to just do Band-Aids every now and then.
If you do notice at that intersection, the lovely pole that's kind of over by Family Express on the right away, that is our Trainfo data collector. So that is actually up and running now. We haven't, I don't think we've looked at any data yet, but it's there and functional.
I'll add, this doesn't really matter to anything, but the current crossing on 600 West today, which does feature the better rubberized materials, we actually paid for that.
Yeah, we paid
about
$10,000 for it, $15,000 like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Right, yeah, roughly that long ago, because they were redoing the crossing at that time, and they were going to put asphalt and timber back in, which is not appropriate for a road of that much traffic. So we paid up the cash to at least get it to a better crossing. And as you've seen, it's already failing. It's just taking a beating right
Well,
now.
they said it probably lasts about 10 years, and I think it's been 10,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right, CCMG. Matt?
Yeah, wanted to give just an update on road projects. We did, earlier this month, we made our application to the CCMG grant process. That map shows the roads that we'd submitted to. Originally, I had a list of roads that did get pared down a little bit from the financial commitment letter as we got detailed on the estimates. So those are the submitted roads. I also wanted to give a brief update on some other road projects just to let you know where they stand. The 600 West and Brookside Emerald Boulevard traffic signal is all but complete except for there's still some missing signs. The lights are and pole base covers we're still waiting. Those are manufacturing delays on those. So those are coming. The signal's been operational for a while now. The landscaping at the 500 North and 600 West roundabout is the landscaping is in, but we're still waiting on utilities so we can complete the irrigation system. Unfortunately, just with the delays on that, it's going to be there's no point in turning on the irrigation system, and so we're going to leave it dry, but and then turn it on here in the spring.
Can I throw in there, Mark? That's also what's holding up. The sign will be illuminated, but until the meter base gets installed by 9 it will not function.
The 600 West lane study is underway. If you might have noticed, there was some traffic counts data being collected, and so no other feedback yet on that project. They're collecting data. The 600 West and 600 North roundabout, that project is complete. I wanted to kind of highlight that a little bit. This was a little different than how a lot of typical grant road projects are done. The process for that is typically 4 to 5 years. We started this project last year with some negotiations on terms and then design, and then work started on utilities on June 5th. So from that start date, we had that project completed in 151 days from the start of utility work, and our paving contractor, Reith Riley, completed the roundabout in 104 days. That is pretty remarkable, and I think it's all due to the public-private partnership that happened. So we're not waiting until 2030 for that project to be completed. So we should celebrate when we have successes like that. And then one other utility thing to ask of you. There's a proposed storm sewer that would serve the Claiborne development, which is it's residential near the intersection of 700 West and 500 North. The storm sewer would also serve all of the undeveloped areas west of the Commerce Park, the patch development. So all the open fields through there would all be drained through a storm sewer that's a proposed storm sewer that would be installed along the south side of 500 North, and it would go into an existing easement that's already been set up. The easement is dedicated to the county commissioners, and so in the process, working with the developer and the county surveyor's office, we went before the county commissioners, and they are okay with us installing that in there, but they would like us to have an interlocal agreement between the town and the commissioners for the installation and maintenance of that storm sewer. So what I was going to ask is if council would direct staff to prepare that interlocal, and we can get that going before the developer gets very far in their preparation to start installing. They're pushing to get this thing going. So if council's agreeable to it, we'll get that interlocal prepared so we can memorialize the agreement between the town and the county.
So I'll make a motion to direct the staff to prepare an interlocal agreement between the town of McCordsville and Hancock County Commissioners for the installation and maintenance of the McCordsville storm sewer within an existing county commissioner's easement along County Road 500 North.
Second.
There's a first and second to direct staff to put together an interlocal agreement between us and the Hancock County Commissioners. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 5-0. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, Mark?
That's it.
All right. Town Manager's Report.
Just a couple of quick reminders, because we have a quicker turnaround to the last town council meeting of the year, so we'll be bringing the salary ordinance, and we will notice that real soon. and per usual, we'll ask you to suspend the rules and pass it on one meeting.
Okay.
So that'll be next meeting. We'll bring back the meeting dates as well. Just to reemphasize, Dr. Bernie mentioned it earlier, but the tree lighting ceremony, December 5th, which is a Friday, 5:30 to 8. It will be over at McCord Square this year, just because it's been here ever since it started, so we are moving it. It'll be at McCord Square, so.
Are we getting the digital sign? Are we doing any signage and stuff like that?
We will. We'll make sure we get it in Friday blasts and social media, and we'll put the signs up, tree lighting this Friday, so.
Okay.
And a lot of our lights have started going up. So if you look on this building, they put all the Christmas lights on. So starting to get ready. It's sneaking up on us real quick. This Thanksgiving being a week later really has thrown us all off pretty good. So just wrapping up the year, we'll be getting encumbrances by next week to Stephanie. We're still working on health insurance changes, updates for next year, so we're waiting on information to come back to us on that. We need to get in front of our employees as soon as possible, and also the salary ordinance would be helpful to know what the rates were. So we're keeping busy. We'll be busy through the end of the year, and then mid-December we start seeing hit or miss of employees burning some PTO. So.
Any questions for Tim? Okay. Well, as we've done in the past, we'll do again tonight. Each council member has 5 minutes of a topic they'd like to discuss. You don't have to use it if you want to. I'll start with Dr. Price. You anything tonight?
I will pass.
Okay. Mr. Gooding?
Pass.
Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
Dr. Bernie?
Of course.
I know you did. That's why I always go to you last. Go ahead, Dr. Bernie.
I just thought it's because I was the shortest.
No.
Tonight, I want to talk about real estate acquisitions.
Could you get by the microphone a little bit? Thank you.
If it had a longer cord, it could get by me. Maybe it does. I wanted to talk about real estate acquisitions. We're beginning to acquire property, especially for parks. A number of parcels will be acquired, and we're also going to be acquiring properties for expansion of roads. And I am not a realtor. I don't have professional training in real estate. I'm not an attorney, but I have come up through the school of hard knocks, and I have bought and sold lots of real estate, and we're getting into it now. So we have one parcel where we accepted land without looking beneath the land. That's called a Phase 1 environmental, and if you get land, you need to do that and see what's under the land. Otherwise, you get to pay for what's under the land if it's discovered and it's not supposed to be there. So we have, I think it was a $250,000 overrun on a parks project because we didn't know what was under the land, and we never did a Phase 1 when it came in. Had we done a Phase 1, we probably wouldn't have accepted it. So on real estate, when it comes in, you need to look under the land and see what's there. Phase 1 environmentals don't cost that much, and it has saved me from buying properties that had gas tanks underneath that the owner denied were there, that were still filled with fuel when we sampled the earth. Like, gosh, the gas is still down there, what it's worth now, if it's still good. I wanted to talk about legal descriptions. We have one parcel that we think we own that we don't own, but unfortunately it's a Scribner's error on the legal. And the thing about legal descriptions is I'm not going to vote for anything that has a legal description in English with it unless there's a CAD drawing where the legal description has been drawn out, and when you draw it out, you get the shape of the parcel, and it's a picture, and it looks like the parcel, and it's got the dimensions on it, and the end point and the beginning point in that CAD drawing have to superimpose. It's called the drawing closes. It's the way you check the English in a legal, and if it doesn't close, then the legal is wrong. And if the legal's wrong, fortunately in the case I was citing, it can be fixed with what's called a Scribner's error correction, and the same attorneys on both sides, and they're willing to do it. But sometimes it means you don't own what you think you bought, and you bought something else, or maybe you don't own anything. And these are the reasons why you insist on an owner's policy of title insurance. The title insurance company is going to guarantee that you own what you think you bought, and they have insurance reserves that are standing behind that. You shouldn't have to go to that route, but you need to make sure that you get an owner's policy of title insurance. And that leads us to the title search. So when you're going through a title on a property and you get a title search is a very difficult thing because all the encumbrances on a property aren't by address. You don't go down and say, pull the report for 900 West 600 South. You go down and you find the list of owners and co-owners and people that may have been on the deed, and it's all under their names. And it takes an experienced searcher to find it in the records. They're frequently in the recorder's office, but not always. And there are things, there are tricks and traps along the way, like deed encumbrances, restrictions on deeds, contracts that were signed and never recorded that don't have to be, but now are suddenly surfacing and being thrown in your face as we have this contract to use this land, and it's always been no problem. Now you guys are here, and we always park our tractor right where you guys want to park your snowplow. So all those things need to be done, and you need to check out your real estate parcels carefully. They need to be inspected. We need to be sure that wooden structures don't have termites and other infestations, yada, yada, yada. So we should have a checklist for this. We need to get our legals drawn out. We need to make sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's as we acquire parcels, or we're going to get burned. We've been burned a little bit so far, not too bad. but we don't want any more of it, and we need to mitigate it.
Thank you, Dr. Burney. I just got two things. One, so don't know, I'm IU alum, and we got a big, huge game next Friday after Thanksgiving against these Boilermakers, Mr. Gooding. So, you know, good luck to you. I know you're going to need a lot of it. And, you know, clerk treasurer, Kreider, big luck. So good luck to my Hoosiers. But also to everybody in our community, I just want to wish you all and your families a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And I hope you enjoy the time with your families. Watch those Hoosiers beat the Boilers. And with that, I'll take on that. I just been poking the barrel there. Motion to approve the vouchers.
Can't wait for basketball. Exactly.
Oh, basketball.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers.
First and second to approve the vouchers. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. The next meeting will be December 9th, 2025, 6 p.m. That meeting is adjourned.
Mr. Chairman.